Programming is hard. If I told you to learn a new language on your own, how would that go? It would be pretty darn hard, I'd suspect. What's going on, everybody? My name is Gab, and today we'll be talking about the challenges and difficulties that I encountered while learning to program. If you're also learning to code, please smash that like button and drop a comment below and let me know who you are. It'd be great to see who else is going through this. Learning to program is like learning any other language. You start with the basics and you think, okay, I can handle this. But then you go a little deeper and you get confused. So you Google it and become more confused. So then you Google what confused you about what confused you, and then suddenly you're more confused. And down the rabbit hole we go. All right, let's pull this back a little bit. Here are my top 3 challenges that I encountered while learning to program and how I overcame them. Number 1, the rabbit hole. As I mentioned before, no matter how comfortable you feel, there's always more you can learn. This can be scary and often very overwhelming. It's like being in quicksand, then someone hands you like a cooked noodle to help pull you out. It's not great. This is a common challenge when you first begin learning to code, so don't worry, you are not alone. Here's how I overcame the rabbit hole. I started by defining the scope of my project. What exactly am I trying to achieve? I would take my large project and I'd break it down into a bunch of smaller projects. And if I could break that smaller project down even further, I would. Think of it this way. If I ask you to eat an entire pizza, you might be thinking, okay, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. But if I asked you to eat one slice of pizza, well, that's a little more reasonable. Coding honestly works the exact same way. Focus on the slices and not the entire pizza, i.e. work on the small projects that work together to create the bigger project. Learn what you need to in order to complete the small project first. When you're ready, move on to the adjacent project, then the next. You'll be building these amazing projects one brick at a time. Number 2, picking a language. Turns out there's a lot of programming languages. Reading them out sometimes feels like those drug commercials with those huge lists of side effects.
Programming has many languages. Some of these languages may include Python, C, Java, C++, C#, Visual Basic, JavaScript, Assembly Language, SQL, Swift, R, PHP, Classic Visual Basic, Groovy, Ruby, Delphi, Fortran.
So where do I start? Well, this all kind of depends. The question is, what is your end goal? Is there a list of projects you want to complete? Are you trying to land a specific job? So here's what I did. I created an Excel spreadsheet and wrote down every single one of my ideas. After each idea, I wrote down the programming language I would need in order to complete it. Then I filtered the columns to see what language popped up the most. Therefore, that's where I was going to start. It doesn't mean I can't learn the other ones eventually, but I knew that based on my goals, that this language would mean the most to me first. Now, if you're learning for a job, I recommend pulling up the job description and writing out every single language or package that is required for that job. And that list you create, well, that's your starting point. This approach allows you to learn with purpose, but also gives you a path to start on. Number 3, staying consistent. Much like anything else in life, if you're not consistent, well, you won't go very far. And guess what? I was super, and still am, inconsistent. I go through these spurts of like crazy motivation where I'd be coding like 5 hours a day and just absolutely crushing it. But then I'd hit a roadblock and not touch it for 2 weeks. When I finally got myself back to the project, I'd spend like an hour trying to figure out what I was doing and what exactly I was trying to complete. It was so damn inefficient. So staying consistent is something I struggle with every single day. However, I have found a few tricks that have worked for me. The first is creating a schedule and forcing myself to stick to it. I keep that schedule open on my desk at all times. It serves as a constant reminder of what I'm supposed to be doing. The second thing I did was write my goals on a piece of paper and stick them right above my computer monitor on the wall. Every time I look up, I'm reminded of the goal that I set for myself. Although this doesn't work 100% of the time, it definitely helps. Bare minimum, by seeing my goals and not doing them, at least I feel guilty. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. If you liked this video, please comment, like, subscribe. Please comment the challenges that you're going through and what you did to try and overcome them as well. Thank you again, and I look forward to talking again soon.